What's up?
Hello, salutations. I did my little repost on the stream. Shout out to everybody that's out there. Thank you guys for joining us today. Let me start out with I'm wore out. I hurt in places I didn't even know I could hurt, to be honest.
John had a rough day.
To say the least. When I talked to my brother about it, he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I basically was on all fours all day long, and I almost got my back blown out, pretty much, the whole day. So take that for what you will. It wasn't pleasant. Some people like that. I am not one of those that like that.
Yes. I don't imagine it's fun.
But how are you doing? How's your day going?
Today's all right. Warm back up. Freak snowstorms while I was trying to move some stuff over the weekend, and but today's nice. 70 degrees, sun's shining. Can't beat it.
That's good. That does sound nice. What I do want to say, because I should start out with, I need to make a statement here. I need to come clean about what happened. And I just want to say, Hansel, Warden Hansel of the inmates, I was supposed to be on a space. I didn't make it. Long story short, I was at Starbucks getting yelled at about a coffee that took 5 minutes and I'm not even going to specify, but we'll say a specific person in the drive-thru. No idea what kind of coffee she wanted. No idea what kind of food that she wanted. And she was very angry because the sandwich that she ordered was small. But what can I say? What can I say? The menu has everything on it. And if you don't know what you're going to order, I can't help you. I tried. But anyways, I got caught up at work. I ended up being there quite a long time. And Warden said that he left me some F us on the space. I said, great. He said, well, come back next Sunday. And so next Sunday I'll be there. Shout out to Warden Hansel. He was really responsive and great. And sorry to everybody that thought I was going to be there. I didn't make it. I was getting yelled at work. So
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but when I got home from out of town and checked my phone, and I got a message from Hansel saying, "Hey, John never showed up. Where is he?" I was like, "That's a good question. I don't know. Haven't talked to him all weekend."
Yeah. I'm like in this place right now where in real life, I basically have not been on my phone most of the time, most of the days, because I'm just can't, which is sad. I want my cushy desk job that I can do remotely back. That would be great.
Right. It would be nice.
Would be nice. But shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Shout out to Warden Hansel. Check out the inmates. They're doing some stuff. I'm trying to get him on actually to talk about a lot of the stuff they're doing. The smoke barbecue sauce that he had was absolutely delicious. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff that the inmates are doing. I want to follow up and then see what's going on now because I know they have the game room and a whole bunch of other moving parts. So definitely interested to check that out. And then as far as everything else, I don't know. What else is going on? The market seems like it's going to that
Zero.
one place. Yeah, I was going to say zero, but that one place, you know.
I would like to say whoever runs the library account for inmates keeps tagging Jpg Empire saying, "See, I told you it was going down." Like, well, I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that, first of all. Second of all, you didn't tell me anything. You tagged the account and I never seen it. Talking about sweet.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Suey. Everyone watching the NCAA b-ball tournament tonight?
No.
There are some people that do that. I am one of those that I don't like to watch sports, but I like the sports.
You
Evening,
like the
Fozzie.
sports, but you don't like to watch the sports.
Not at home. I like to go drink beer
Oh,
and
see,
spectate in real life.
the best
You know?
place in the house is on your couch in front of a big screen. You go to an event to experience the event, not to watch the game, because unless you can afford front row 50-yard line,
Yeah,
that's a little different.
that's
you
fair.
know.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But okay, so we have some banger of articles for you guys, but let's go ahead and get into it. I hurt, to say the least. I got home, threw myself in an Epsom bath and Epsom salt bath, and I still hurt. So, without further ado, let's reset the room.
All right,
Let's
everybody,
reset the
do
room.
us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tap that notification bell. If you're on X, tag some DGens, give us a repost. We go live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. PST, bringing you the daily news nightly. All right, let's get. I'm showing the right screen, but I am on the wrong screen. Let's see here. All right, let's get the freshest data. So we are down 1.2%, coming in at $2.587 trillion. Monster volume today. Almost bull run volume. We're at 232 billion. Bitcoin dominance is at 60.6. Ethereum's at 7.2 and still less than one GUI to send to ETH transaction. Coming down, Bitcoin at 79,000, up 0.6. We got Ethereum at 1546, down 1.9. We got XRP at 187, down 2.1. We got BNB at 553, down 0.9. Solana at 106.96. Wow. Up 1.3. Doge is at 1475, down 0.8. Tron is at 2291, down 0.4. And it looks like it has passed Cardano, because we got Cardano rounding out the top 10 at 58.16, up 1.4. 58 cents for Cardano. That makes them bosses really cheap. Just saying, makes them about $57. So let's find SWE coming in 21st at 201, up 5.3%. Let's see the biggest gainers on the day. Hyperliquid up 12.3 at 1146. BitTensor up 10.2. Wow, wasn't BitTensor at like $600? Now it's at like 204. Ooh. We got Caspa at 8, up 8.4, coming in at 0.6238. It was up at 20 cents. So everything is just horribly down. Hedera up 8.1. We got Render up 7.8. Maker up 6.4. Sui up 5.3. Toncoin up 5.2. And we got a few gainers. We do have a few gainers, but let's look at the biggest losers. Near down 4.1. Cosmos down 4.1. Pi down 3.4. File down 2.2. And so XRP at 187 down 2.1. Trump down. Quant. So definitely some mixed bag in the market. Looking at pre-market for TradFi, we are up. We're up 447 points on Dow, 145 on the NASDAQ, and then oil and the 10-year bond are both up. Let's see what Asia's doing. Asia, nothing. So we got nothing changed. Wow, look at Japan. The Nikkei is up 6.1%. So Asia Pacific market set to open mixed as Trump tariffs sap investor confidence. I seen something a little earlier about Japan, why it opened so high. But yeah, so the Australian index up 0.8 and the Nikkei up 6.7. We have not got any other data for any of the other exchanges yet. But that is your market update in a nutshell.
All right. I love it. That was fantastic. And it's weird to see the markets looking kind of green or a little bit of green anywhere in any markets, because this has been a tumultuous time, to say the least. And it's interesting living around Washington, D.C. You hear all of the Washington, D.C. people and around the investors and all these different people. Everybody's talking about kind of the same thing. And then so like lately I've just had this thing where when I see people that are like panicked, right, because they're trading stock or doing whatever they're doing, I just want to be like, tariffs, am I right? Like that's doesn't matter what the conversation is, you know what I mean? There's everybody has a comment on it, and it's just interesting. Must have been the new Kawasaki horse, why Japan is high.
Right.
Love it. Love it.
So I have a different take on that. I mean, so people are worried about screaming about the pension funds and all this being down, right?
Security.
Well, if you're, say, I mean, so I'm 46, I'm not retiring, for 20 years. If my 401k is down right now, I kind of look at that as a blessing. That means everything I put in is bringing down my average entry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're putting in money every paycheck at the top of the market. Well, when it dips, it's just like crypto. When you DCA on the dip, buy the dip. I mean, to me, I think it's good. I mean, it sucks for the people that are like getting ready to retire or are retired or whatever. I don't know how it affects payouts. I don't think it affects your payout. But if you got a 401k or something like that and you're not close to retirement, there's nothing wrong with this. It's buying the dip. You're not going to retire till 62, 65, 70. So if you're in your 50s or your 40s, I would think this is a good thing.
Yeah. I think the thing that, or I guess the couple of things that I've heard people close to me that are particularly concerned about is Social Security. And the reason is because there are a lot of people that are on Social Security. You pay into it, right, your whole life, pretty much. Well, most people. Some people pay into it. A lot of people pay into it, right? So there's concerns about that. And then Medicare, the only reason
has nothing to do with the tariffs.
Has nothing to do with the tariffs, but I'm just saying that, like, as far as like the market and things that are going on, there's like concerns about those kinds of things, and those things are also affecting people's opinion of the market. The market is emotional.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean.
But that has no bearing on Social Security.
What do you mean? The market?
Yeah, the market has no bearing on Social Security.
No. You're right. I'm saying
Social Security is not invested.
Yes, but I'm saying market sentiment. There are people that are concerned about all these different things that have changed, right? And then they look at the market, they see this negativity. There is concern and fear, basically like fear and uncertainty. But that's what the market doesn't like. The market is afraid of fear and uncertainty. So once we get through this part and things get more certain, and then people understand the direction that we're going, then I think, moonshot rocket. Right. That's my opinion. That's what I believe. That's usually what happens. We have to have downturns to have bull runs. A market can't go up forever.
No, of course not. You have to have pullbacks, and we've been riding an all-time high in the S&P for quite a while now, so.
Yeah. All right, so it's about that time. We're going to get that message from our sponsors. I know you guys love hearing my voice, so here you go. Join us at Rare Evo, the top blockchain conference, August 6th through 10th, 2025, at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The top blockchain projects like Algorand, Midnight, HBAR, ICP, Thorchain, and Igon, and many more are going to be there. This is definitely a must for blockchain enthusiasts and fans. Use discount code CryptoNightly to save on your tickets and to support the channel. Don't miss it. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a blast. Well, we got the donkey in there. All right.
I want to address a couple questions real quick. So Fozzie says, I hit the perfect storm, PW job and market down, more money to buy the dip for cheap investments, 100%. And tax loss harvesting still a thing? Yes. TradFi and crypto are different. In crypto, you can essentially sell and then automatically rebuy. Stocks, I believe you have to wait 30 days to rebuy. So if you sell, you got to wait 30 days, buy again, and then that'll can be considered a loss. With crypto, to my knowledge, unless something has changed, there is no time frame that you have to wait. So,
on that note, I have one bookmark because it was the only bookmark that I made while I checked Twitter once this evening. And so this, I liked it. But Charles Hoskinson tweet, right? I thought this was super cool. I'm a big nerd, so this was cool. Plus, the stuff that Charles is doing with woolly mammoths. This is super cool. But so he said, welcome back, direwolves. We've changed a few things since the last time you roamed the earth. The world's first de-extinct animal is American, fluffy, and ready to change everything. So sound on. You're hearing the first howl of a dire wolf in over 10,000 years. Meet Romulus and Remus, the world's first de-extinct animals born October 1, 2024. Oh, well, that was a while ago. I don't know why this is exciting and new, but let's hear it.
Well, I think they just now brought it out.
Aren't they cute? But I thought this was cool. Everybody knows, or a lot of people know, that Charles is actually actively funding and working with a group that is trying to bring back a woolly mammoth. And so that is just pretty wild.
I think that'd be cool.
So we love that, right? We like Charles. He's kind of a nerd, and we like that about him. So there we go. This is one that I thought was pretty big. So this came out 2 hours ago, today. And so BlackRock CEO says the market could tank another 20%, but it's a buying opportunity. So Larry Fink says him and many of his peers believe the U.S. is mired in a recession, but he added that it's a good time to buy the dip. So he's saying that the whole market, TradFi, could go down another 20%. And this is pretty crazy for TradFi, not that crazy for crypto. And honestly, I am way more excited about crypto because we've seen this before. When the regular world market goes absolutely nuclear, then crypto goes absolutely nuclear, but the recovery is exponentially quicker, right? It takes a while for the regular market to catch up. Crypto it might do the correction in a day. It might do the correction in a week. So definitely something to look at. You need to see what you like. And has no one watched Jurassic Park? Jurassic World. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. This is true. This is all true. I like it, though. I like it. I think it's exciting. I don't know. There's so many things about it I just love. Very exciting to me. But so there we go. That was that little thing. I thought this was pretty crazy. Do you know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, Desert?
I think it's Adam Back.
You think it's Adam Back?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, do you know who does know who Satoshi Nakamoto is without a shadow of a doubt?
HBO?
the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So crypto lawyer James Murphy has sued the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to force the agency to disclose whom it believes is Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. And this actually comes after that there was a incident or a revelation that Satoshi spoke to Homeland Security at some point. And then so there's a conversation or something that happened. There's an interaction or a meeting that was never made public. It was classified or something, or not necessarily classified, but secret information on their books that they don't have public. And so this lawyer got smart and decided that he hates crypto and wants everything to go to zero. So what did he do? He sued the U.S. Homeland Security, and he's basically trying to force their hand to make them present evidence of who was Satoshi Nakamoto. And so if that person's still alive, Bitcoin will go to zero that same day. So, watch out. But if the person is dead, could still go to infinity. What do you think on that?
I don't think crypto will go to zero. I don't think Bitcoin will go to zero.
If they're alive.
But there'd have to be really strong evidence. That would be probably the most hunted man in the world.
Yeah, but if they're alive. Or, gosh, dude, Desert, so progressive. So progressive. Yeah, we love it. He'll get it heavily redacted. That would be hilarious. Right. That would be hilarious. We would love that. Heavily redacted. That would be great. But I want to say that I kind of hate this in a sense, because it's I don't know, man. It's why would you want, if you meet your maker and it turns out he's not that cool, then what? Right? We're talking about Satoshi Nakamoto. That'd be so lame, So I kind of like the mythology, the narrative, the kind of the whole vibe. The vibe is immaculate. Right. I think that this would mess it up, but
I mean, I think, don't get me wrong, I think it would too, but I don't think Bitcoin would go to zero.
I think if they were alive, it would. I think if they were dead, it wouldn't.
Nah.
I think it'd be tough. But so we got that out of our way. Everybody that is bullish on Solana, we know you're here for Solana. We all love Solana, don't we? Some more than others. But anyways, former Kraken execs, they love Solana. They acquire a real estate firm, Janover, that disclosed their sole treasury plans. The new ownership group is made up of former Kraken employees who seek to make Janover a bet on Solana. So this is definitely one to watch. I don't know why they put 840% here, because that doesn't really mean anything. But Janover, obviously, they're trying to get real estate on the blockchain and have that real estate on Solana. So I do think this is a cool move. Very exciting. It is interesting, right? So it has multiple employees of Kraken that went in to buy this company, but we're not going to go into the details. The whole point is, if the former Kraken execs who have insider knowledge buy Janover, this is a project to be watching. And the fact that it is a real estate, it says real estate, but real estate firm, this is very bullish for what they're trying to accomplish. And it's also bullish for RWAs. Obviously, it's an RWA play. And what are you smiling about, Desert?
Nothing.
Yeah, cut that out. Stop being happy, okay? I don't like it. Just kidding. All right, and then we have Bitcoin on the verge of the largest price drawdown of the bull market. This comes from an analyst who is just one of those keyboard warriors. But let's see. One analyst says Bitcoin's price is close to locking in the deepest correction of this cycle. But how does it compare to previous bull runs and bear market? Which if you watch the show, we actually covered it. Desert had an amazing chart where he talked about the drawdowns and what we usually expect. And so
Right.
usually the drawdowns during the bull market can be up to 30%. I don't think that there's one that exceeded 30% to my knowledge, but I think that they're like up to around this one. You're saying this one exceeds 30%?
We're at 32% right now. Well, so
From
far
the
we've put in a 32% correction. I mean, that's from the very top to the very bottom. Right now we're at about a 29% correction. No, but we get some 30% ones. There are some 30% corrections. It's not that.
Okay.
It's usually between 20 and 30 though, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, like, we're here still within normalcy of the bull market. So, you know, if you're scared, if you're thinking about jumping, don't jump. It'll be okay. Just sit down. It'll be all right. You know, relax, huddle your bags. Just make sure that you are holding your conviction plays and accumulate more of your conviction plays. Stick to your bags, stick to your guns. This is trying to shake your hope out of the market, but there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. So that's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Well, I don't have that much TA for everybody because
this is perfect because I need to ice my back. I need to ice my back. All right, so hit them with the inverted chart. But before that, we got something special to share with you guys, right? First, you need to reset the room. Let's reset the room one more good old time.
All right, everybody do us a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, tap that notification bell. If you're on X, tag some DGens, give us a repost. We go live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. PST, bringing you the daily news nightly. Introducing the relaunch of JPEG Boss Mint, a game changer in the NFT world. This isn't just another mint. It's a community-governed project where you hold the power. Here's the deal. 50% of all mint funds fuel a community investment wallet controlled by boss holders like you, driving collective growth. The proceeds, 60%, go straight back to active participants, rewarding your engagement. 20% powers overhead and expansion. And the final 20% flows to JPEG Empire until the seed funding's repaid. Join the revolution, mint with purpose, govern the future, and reap the rewards. And that mint is actively going on right now, and it's cheaper than ever because ADA is only about 59 cents. So, but yeah, so this is, so looking at Bitcoin, this is on the weekly, and when we go top to bottom, we're at 3184 or about 32%, you know? So, but, so what was looking good on the weekly is no longer looking good. So we were right about in here about last week, you know, we looked like we were getting ready to clip. We had the VWAP coming up, looked like we were getting ready to clip. Money flow was flat. Well, in the past 2 weeks, everything has changed. Money flow is now bleeding out. VWAP has turned back to the downside. Momentum is continuing to the downside. I have some more indicators on here that shouldn't be on here for the stream. Let me get rid of all this. There you go. And as you can see, we have lost, you know, we lost this quite a while ago. We lost the 85 or the 82,000 level. You know, we lost the 21. Right now, the 50 SMA is holding us. So hopefully we can maintain above the 50. If not, these are still in play. So these boxes are still in play right here. And we almost hit one yesterday or the day before. So 73K to 69 is still in play. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down to this 67,650. And then we lose that. We still got 62,883. But coming to the daily, You can see the daily is still, the only thing I'm seeing is that our VWAP has clipped and started going to the upside. RSI and Stokes have both turned up. So I'm expecting, the VWAP precedes the shift in the momentum. So I'm expecting a change, getting a double green dot here in the next day or two if we can maintain some bullish price action. So this was Sunday. We had that major crash. That's it's a 6% candle on Sunday. Today we had a blue candle or a green candle, and we are pushing a green candle right now. So these things are good. We are still well under the 200 on the daily, under the 21. We just got a death cross.
Will you do me a favor real quick?
On the daily.
Can you tell me what those the news that it has listed on the chart are? Those there's like three different. Yeah.
So this is the FOMC meeting. This is on Wednesday. Or it's the minutes from the last meeting, actually. Then we have inflation rate year over year on the 10th and core inflation rate month over month. And then we have the Michigan consumer sentiment and the PPI month over month. Those are going to be on Friday.
So we got some big things coming up.
We do have some big things coming up. That FOMC meeting minutes is probably going to be the biggest thing. I think with us being bearish and everything that we are right now, that the others aren't going to matter. Oh, crap. Hold on a second. So we are getting a nice little pump right now. I had to move my stop loss into profit on SWE. So let's go. Let's take a look at that. What's that?
I said, let's go. Profit. So stop loss.
We are.
Desert does use a stop loss sometimes.
Sometimes. I use a stop loss to take profit. That's for sure. Definitely got to move that stop loss to take profit. But let's see what's going on. Let's come down to the 15-minute. We got market cipher B, VWAP to the upside. We got a little trigger wave to the upside, money flow. We got RSI, Stokes, all pointing to the upside. We are coming to the 15-minute 200. If we can flip the 15-minute, and look, we got our 21 trailing, I think we might have a little bit of an explosive night, especially if Japan is the first to wake up. So Japan's already awake. And if the stock market's pumping in Japan, they're probably going to start buying Bitcoin. So Asia could save us in the short term. We could get a nice little pump out of Asia, even though they dumped us last night. Let's go down, see what the 12-minute's doing. So the 12-minute, we've already had the bullish cross. And you can see this is the same model I'm always talking about. I'm telling you, it's like textbook. Boom, break the 200 pump, come back, touch the 21. We got a little pump, and then we retested the 200, and boom, we're pumping again. Nice green dot on the momentum. VWAP, money flow, everything turned up. So we are looking good in the short term for Bitcoin. Go down even lower. 5-minute is above. And here's the big one. So this is, it looks like my SWE long just hit the stop loss. I got a little aggressive. So on the 1 minute for Bitcoin, boom, we break the 200, we pump. Now we're coming back. You can see momentum's rolling over. I bet we're going to get something like this. Maybe come back and touch the 21 somewhere in here as the 21 comes up, and then we take off again. Although we're getting a little pump right here. You got to let this momentum roll over a little bit. You got to let your VWAP come in, probably, something like that. but I would be looking for an entry on Bitcoin. And looks like SWE came down just enough to stop me out and take off. That son of a gun. So let's take a look at it.
How that happens.
Yeah. So I got a little bit aggressive on my stop loss. And right here, it come down, wicked me out, and then started to go. And this is probably what Bitcoin's getting ready to do. So I am seeing we're going to get heavy resistance at 208 for SWE. That's actually where I had my take profit at, was at 208. But you can see, boom, across the 200 pump. But now we're starting to gap the 21. So I expect us to come back down. We are getting a little bit of a bearish divergence. Money flow up. Momentum coming down. So I am seeing a little bit right there. Let's work our way up. Same thing. So that's exactly what Bitcoin did, right? Look at that. No, what was I looking at? Why? Oh, it was on the 12-minute though. So the 12-minute for Bitcoin looks like this. For SWE, it's the 15-minute. Looks almost exactly like the Bitcoin 12-minute. That's almost exact, right? Boom, come up, 21, up, break, retest, and pump, right? So that's SWE. That's Bitcoin. Boom, boom, boom. So we might be getting some bullish action, and Bitcoin is taking off right now. Yeah, Bitcoin is taking off. So is SWE. And I shouldn't have got so aggressive with my stop loss, but hey, that's what it is. Right here at about 208, I'll probably be looking to short. I will see what happens. See if we hit our head. We're probably going to hit our head at 208 and then at least come back down to the 21 on the 1 minute and then take off. The 15-minute. We have gapped the 21 on the 15-minute also. So we'll probably get a little bit of resistance, come back down, kind of like we got these tweezer tops right here a little bit earlier this afternoon. And boom, we kind of fell out. If we stay bullish, we could break and continue. And if we break and continue, we're looking at 219. As you can see, not a whole bunch of volume in between here. We got this low spot at about 212. But if we can break that cleanly, boom, we should have a clear shot up to about 219. Granted, we get volume. We got to have volume for any of this, right? So that's what I would be looking at. I think these are some major SR levels. We actually, when we broke through 208, took a stop at 189, wicked all the way down to 173, and have made a V-shaped recovery. So anybody who caught the bottom at 173, congrats. Unfortunately, I was asleep when that happened. But that would have been a 20% pump from top to bottom today. So let's see. It looks like Cardano is getting ready to break the 15 also. So we could see, man, I might have to stay up a little late tonight. I might have to do some trading. SWE just hit 208. So I would be watching this. I would go down to your smaller time frames, see what's going on. No, we're not topped yet. 1 minute, getting the red dot. We are getting a rejection off of 208. And this is how you work through scalps. You know what I mean? So you would enter now, take profit. Boom. It's only a couple of pennies. But when you're scalping, if you do 5 or 6 of these a day, if I do 1% at 10x, that's 10%. You do 5 or 6 of those a day, 50, 60%, real quick, in and out. I know all of us can't sit in front of a computer all day. I wish I could, but I can't. So looking at Cardano, So Cardano just broke 59.5, which is an SR level, and the 15-minute has just broken through the 200. So I think we might be getting us a little rally tonight. But unfortunately, be careful because the trend is down. The trend is your friend, and the trend is bear right now. I think I said this several times. Don't let the relief pumps make you think we are going back to all-time high. Don't let the relief pumps make you think that the bull run is starting to continue. We're on our next leg up. That's not the case. These are just dead cat bounces. They're reliefs. In my opinion, we are still in this downtrend until at least Q3, Q4, because frankly, I think we might get a pump. We're not going to set a new all-time high. We might get a pump back up into the 90s, maybe this month, maybe beginning of next month. But Q2 is going to be a down month, in my opinion. So that's basically all I got. Yeah, that's about it. What's up, Jaleesa?
Shout out to Jaleesa.
Look at something specific there, John.
No, I want to ice my back. Well, thank you guys.
Oye, Polosito, todos están bien. Todos están bien.
Sheesh, yeah. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. That was the hot news, the hot honey dip tea for Jaleesa. Thank you guys for joining us. We come to you live, bringing you the daily news nightly. I will be back on tomorrow night. My back will probably hurt more tomorrow, but it's okay. We'll get the news for you anyways, and we can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. So there we go. What else you got to say, Desert? How do you feel?
That's it. Have a great night and get that peanut butter ready.
Oh, geez.
The Patriot said put some peanut butter on it.
That's true. Let's get it. Peace.
Introducing the relaunch of JPEG Boss Mint, a game changer in the NFT world. This isn't just another mint. It's a community-governed project where you hold the power. Here's the deal. 50% of all mint funds feel a community investment wallet controlled by boss holders like you, driving collective growth. The proceeds, 60%, go straight back to active participants, rewarding your engagement. 20% powers overhead and expansion. And the final 20% flows to JPEG Empire until the seed funding's repaid. Join the revolution, mint with purpose, govern the future, and reap the rewards.